Hi there, you must be Lily. Aren't you just the cutest little thing?
Lily's parents smiled warmly, their eyes filled with a mix of relief and excitement. They seemed nice enough, the kind of people who genuinely cared about their child's well-being. They had spent weeks searching for the perfect babysitter, and Sarah seemed to fit the bill perfectly. Sarah was excited about this new babysitting job. She had always loved children and had a natural knack for making them laugh. This was her first time babysitting for a family in such a fancy neighborhood, and she was determined to make a good impression. Lily was an adorable baby with big, curious eyes that seemed to take in everything around her. Her chubby cheeks and tiny hands made her look like a living doll. Sarah couldn't help but smile as she looked at her. She giggled as Sarah tickled her chin, her laughter filling the room with a joyful sound. It was a sound that could melt even the coldest of hearts.
Looks like you and I are going to have some fun tonight. We'll play with your toys, read some stories, and maybe even watch a little TV if your parents say it's okay.
Lily's parents gave final instructions before leaving. They went over Lily's bedtime routine, what to do if she got fussy, and where to find emergency contact numbers. They seemed a bit anxious, but also relieved to have found someone they trusted. Sarah waved goodbye, feeling confident and happy. She had a good feeling about tonight and was eager to get started. She knew that taking care of Lily would be a rewarding experience. Sarah looked around the living room, taking in her surroundings. The room was spacious and elegantly decorated, yet it had a cozy, lived-in feel. It was the kind of place where you could tell a lot of happy memories were made. It was surprisingly normal for such a fancy house. The furniture was stylish but comfortable, and there were family photos on the walls showing moments of joy and togetherness. Toys were scattered on a colourful playmate, evidence of Lily's playful nature. There were stuffed animals, building blocks, and a variety of other toys that promised hours of entertainment. A high-tech baby monitor sat on the coffee table, its screen showing a live feed of Lily's crib. It was a reassuring presence, a reminder that Sarah could keep an eye on Lily even when she was in another room. Lily gurgled happily in her playpen, clutching a stuffed elephant. She seemed content and at ease, a good sign that she was comfortable with Sarah.
You have so many toys. We're going to have a blast playing with all of these. Which one is your favorite?
The house was quiet, a peaceful silence that was only occasionally broken by Lily's happy gurgles or the soft rustling of toys, except for the gentle hum of the refrigerator. It was a comforting sound, a reminder that everything was running smoothly. Sarah felt a sense of calm wash over her as she settled into her role for the evening. Sarah played peekaboo with Lily. They both laughed. The room was filled with the sound of their joy, a melody of giggles that seemed to make the walls themselves smile. Sarah loved these moments, the simplicity of a game that brought so much happiness. Lily seemed to especially enjoy it when Sarah hid behind her hands, only to pop out with a silly face. Each time Sarah revealed herself, Lily's eyes would widen with surprise and delight, her laughter ringing out like tiny bells. Time flew by as Sarah kept Lily entertained. They played with blocks, stacking them high and then knocking them down, each crash eliciting more giggles from Lily. Sarah marveled at how such simple toys could bring so much joy. They read a book about farm animals, with Sarah making funny voices for each character. Lily's eyes were wide with wonder as she listened, her tiny fingers tracing the colourful pictures on the pages, and even danced to some music. Sarah twirled around the room with Lily in her arms, the baby's laughter blending with the upbeat tunes. It was a dance of pure joy, a moment where the world outside seemed to disappear. Then Sarah felt something strange. It was as if a sudden wave of energy had washed over her, a feeling that was both exhilarating and unsettling. It was a tingling sensation that started in her toes and quickly spread throughout her whole body. She tried to shake it off, but the feeling persisted, growing stronger with each passing second.
That's weird, she said, her voice tinged with confusion and a hint of worry.
She muttered, shaking her head slightly. What could it be, she wondered, trying to make sense of the strange sensation, but there was no time to dwell on it. She ignored it and continued playing with Lily. The baby's laughter was infectious, and soon Sarah found herself smiling again, the strange feeling momentarily forgotten. The baby just giggled and reached for Sarah with tiny hands. Sarah took Lily's hands in hers, feeling the warmth and innocence of the tiny fingers. In that moment, everything else faded away, leaving only the pure, unadulterated joy of being with Lily. Sarah looked at Lily with affection, her heart swelling with love. She realized that these moments, these simple, joyful moments, were what truly mattered. The strange feeling could wait. Right now, all that mattered was the laughter and the love they shared. As they continued to play, Sarah felt a deep sense of contentment. She knew that whatever the strange feeling was, it couldn't overshadow the happiness she felt in these precious moments with Lily. And so they played on, their laughter filling the room and their hearts. The tingling sensation intensified. Sarah felt lightheaded. She looked down at her clothes. Her jeans felt loose. Her favorite band t-shirt seemed to be swallowing her whole.
What in the world?
She exclaimed, her voice sounding a little higher than usual. She watched in disbelief as her clothes appeared to grow larger. Her shirt, once a comfortable fit, hung off her shrinking frame like a tent. Her jeans pooled around her ankles. The transformation was happening so fast. Sarah didn't understand what was going on, but one thing was for sure, something was terribly wrong. Lily clapped her hands and squealed with delight.
Baby, baby!
She shouted, pointing at Sarah. Sarah looked down and gasped. Sarah's clothing shifted and changed its shape. Her once adult clothes had been replaced by a bib and a diaper. They were pink with cute little ducks printed on them.
What the? I'm not a baby.
She tried to pull the bib off, but it wouldn't budge.
I have breasts.
She finally blurted out, cupping her shrinking breasts. She thought this proved she couldn't be a baby.
No, no!
Lily just giggled and shook her head as if saying, "Nope, you're wrong."
This isn't happening. Lily was somehow changing her.
Sarah felt a new wave of tingling. She looked down in horror as her chest alone became smaller and smaller until it was completely flat. Her voice now sounded like that of a young child. Panic flooded through her. She tried to stand, to run, to do anything to escape this bizarre situation, but her legs felt like jelly. She stumbled and fell onto her bottom, landing with a soft thud on the plush carpet. Tears welled up in her eyes.
Don't cry, I'm the adult here.
Goo goo gaga.
I'm not a baby. I'm Sarah, the babysitter. Someone help me.
But the words wouldn't come out. Instead, all that escaped her lips were incoherent babbles and gurgles. Her thoughts, once clear and rational, were now muddled and confused. She felt a strange sense of contentment wash over her, even though she was terrified.
Mama, Dada.
An hour later, the sound of the front door opening made Lily squeal with joy. Footsteps approached the living room. Lily's parents, looking tired but happy, entered the room. Their smiles instantly turned to expressions of slight shock. Instead of finding their adorable baby girl with a responsible babysitter, they were met with an unbelievable sight. Two infants, both wearing diapers and bibs, were sitting on the floor. One was their precious Lily, giggling uncontrollably. The other had familiar eyes, eyes that belonged to their babysitter Sarah.
Lily, you naughty little girl. We said no magic, baby.
Lily's dad said with amusement.
Our daughter is so special. To think she got magic at such a young age. Most witches don't come into their power until puberty.
Lily's mum, a quick thinker, immediately grabbed a wand from an inner pocket of her dress. She quickly waved it about and said an undoing spell. A soft hum filled the room. Sarah felt another tingling sensation, but this time it was different. It felt like the magic was being undone. She watched as her body slowly returned to its normal size. Her clothes reappeared, first as oversized garments, then shrinking back to their proper fit.
I don't understand. What just happened? I was a baby. I remember now.
Sarah stammered, looking down at her hands, which were no longer the chubby appendages of a baby. She flexed her fingers, still in disbelief at the transformation she had just undergone. Moments ago, she had been a baby, and now she was back to her normal self.
I'm so sorry about our magical daughter. We had no idea Lily would use her magic on you. She must have really liked you if she wanted you to be her playmate.
Sarah, still a bit shaken, was surprisingly understanding. She'd always been curious about the supernatural, but experiencing it firsthand was something else entirely. Lily's parents, incredibly grateful that she didn't freak out, insisted on paying her triple her usual rate. They knew it was the least they could do after such an unusual night.
And if you're ever up for another babysitting gig, Lily would love to have you back. We promise it won't be as eventful next time. Now that you know about magic, a few protection spells can be cast on you.
Sarah hesitated for a moment, then a slow smile spread across her face. The idea of babysitting a magical baby was both daunting and exciting. She had always loved a good adventure, and this was certainly one for the books.
Sure, why not? It's not every day you get to babysit a magical baby. Plus, I think I could get used to the extra pay. And who knows, maybe I'll learn a thing or two about magic along the way.
As Sarah walked out of the house, she couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement. The night had been full of surprises, but it had also opened her eyes to a world she never knew existed. She waved goodbye to Lily's parents, already looking forward to her next adventure. Sarah looked up at the night sky, her mind racing with possibilities. The world was full of mysteries, and she was ready to uncover them, one babysitting gig at a time.
Who knew babysitting could be so magical? I can't wait to see what happens next.
With a newfound sense of purpose, Sarah walked down the street, ready to embrace whatever came her way. The night had been a whirlwind, but it had also been a turning point. She was no longer just a babysitter. She was a guardian of the magical and the extraordinary.